Thursday evening, everyone. I have to say, for once, I had to complain about the heat, which is normal for me, but I like it a little cool at night. But we lost our OC last night, and repair guy couldn't come till this morning. And I have to say, it has been hot. But what can I say? We all have those bad days.
God bless the maker of AC. That's all I got to say.
But as most of y'all have noticed, we have been posting a lot from Beaumont Comic Con from this past weekend. Tomorrow, I promise, is the last one, and it is actually going to be the panel with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that attended. So y'all will get to see the full panel, except for the one little spot where internet connection gave in. Boo-hoo. But I think it was only a couple seconds.
Yeah, that was so
sympathetic. Boo-hoo. I felt it. I felt the sympathy there. I was like, oh, he's really devastated that the internet went down.
The internet was sketchy. It kind of like cut off a lot of the interviews, which is kind of frustrating. But oh well.
I didn't.
I
wasn't sure if it was the internet or if it was my microphone. If it's microphone, then I'm going to be very upset because I just got that thing.
Well, mine was the internet because it cut off a couple of the interviews. A couple of them while I was doing them.
Amy's sitting here still laughing. She's muted though.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing with you, man. It was with you.
Sure.
Okay, I was muted. I was muted with you. Okay, I'm always laughing with you, not at you. Okay.
I'd laugh at me.
I'm off for that. Anyway, so what's up tonight?
Tonight we have Galveston Robotics here with Johnny Steverson and MJ. MJ, I'm sorry I can't read that. Even with my glasses on, that last name is small for me.
Nashke.
Nashke. Okay.
Nashke.
That's okay.
Now, before we get into that, I know we were at esports with y'all, which I have to say was a blast. I loved it to death. And you just got done with the Greek Festival in Galveston.
Right.
But now we're going to, it's month after month after month for you. And now Galveston Robotics. Let y'all talk about robotics for us.
Well, first of all, thank y'all for joining us at the Galveston Esports Summit. It was a lot of fun having you guys there and letting y'all talk to our vendors and everything. And we're kind of pulling some of the small elements from that to this, but I'll let Mary Jo jump into some of the big highlights about it.
Well, at the Esports Summit, we introduced robotics to our audience. Just as something, robotics was actually our first love, that we went into, and then we got into esports. But now we're so fortunate that we've partnered with the Galveston Independent School District to present this VEX signature event, which is quite a big deal. The Galveston robotics team from the school district here has been competing at the world level for quite a while, and they're winners. And so we're very proud of them. And one of the things that they deal with is they're one of the few that compete that don't have a dedicated robot technology facility that they operate out of year round. And so our guys are just really excited. And so we moved it to the convention center at Moody Gardens, which is a different venue for us. And we're excited about that. And so...
so for somebody who's never been, what can they expect?
Robot battles.
Oh,
we have
fine.
We have an arena with spectator seats. It's like the Greek theater, the seats and then the arenas in front of them. And the
is it like
fields.
battle bots where they kind of go down and appear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of different courses. One of the robotics, they have to build a robot that can grab a sphere and then take that sphere and get it into the goal on the other side of the arena, while the other competitors have the robots doing the same thing, and you're also kind of bumping into them and battle them, trying to keep them from scoring. So there's a couple of different competitive aspects to that, but that's actually my favorite part to watch, is when they're trying to get the balls into the goals, and they get all worked up and they're like, no, it's like...
So it's like basketball gone amok.
Exactly, exactly.
Basketball and dodgeball mashed up together.
Well, I don't know. after some of the news that I've had today, and I have to say it's been an exciting day for me here. We won't go into details because this is about upcoming shows, but I would just the excitement and of the destruction that just it's getting to me now. It's like, oh man, I got to see some destruction.
It's like gladiators,
Mhm.
you know, and that's and they're all out there in front of you. And the kids we have one whole section where they're just working on the robots and building and repairing and whatever while the action's going on. And then we have another segment. We have the arena, we have the workstations, and then we have the pavilion. And the pavilion is where if you need a little diversion or you just want to do something extra, you can get into some activities hands-on. And we'll have simulators and virtual reality and some hands-on interactive games, exhibitors.
Are there age limits on this, or are there certain
They're
age
from
like?
elementary school through high school.
Okay.
Great
Okay.
question.
They're actually
Now
competing.
Okay.
Now
Cool.
this would get into one of the questions that I do want to talk about a little bit today is STEM, and that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Right.
And this is mainly for kids. Can you tell us a little bit about the program?
Absolutely. So STEM education is one of my big focuses of life. We need to do anything and everything we can to encourage this young generation to become our next astronauts, engineers, developers, coders, programmers, cybersecurity experts. And my favorite thing about what Mary Jo and I do to support Galveston Robotics and these kids at the Galveston Independent School District is they've got all of this experience. And by the way, GISD has won the world championships multiple times. GISD is like a hidden gem in the robotics world. But to be able to take that experience and connect these kids with the endpoint. And what I mean by that is when they graduate high school, they need to know that they can take that experience into the professional field. All of the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics they've absorbed in building these robots and coding these things, it applies to real world experiences, even carries over into the Army. And one of the things we like to have a focus on is the STEM education factor, but also connecting these kids with organizations like NASA and Boeing and showing them that they can take those skills and go get a real world job applying those skills and doing the things that they have fun doing. And that's one of our big objectives with Galveston Robotics.
So how do you find these kids? Because they sound like they're a bunch of like gems in the rough. Where
kids are
if you're starting them in elementary school.
Yeah, the funny thing is, you know,
We lost her.
I'm sure she'll be back.
Come back, MJ. Come back.
Yes, come back, come back.
So where do you find these kids?
So they're in school. They're at the school districts. It's all the way from elementary to high school. And some of these kids are also, you know, some of these kids are, hey, she's back. Now we lost me. So
what we have here in Galveston that's unique is that they graduate from a Galveston high school. They have free access to 2 years of college.
Oh,
So
nice.
Galveston College can pick them up and then nurture them. And then if they choose to go off to a 4-year school, and that's unique. And a lot of people don't understand that, but that's universal access.
Yeah, but to answer your question, where are the kids coming from? They're all part of the school district, Galveston Independent School District, and
But in this particular competition, kids are coming from across the nation to compete.
Okay. Well, I know you had mentioned that there's elementary kids, and I can understand the junior high and high school because they've already picked out that that's their strong suits. But how do they do it in the elementary school?
So obviously the arenas are different. The robots are easier to put together. You'll clearly see some differences when you look at the elementary arenas and you go to look at the high school arenas.
Wendell wants to know if it's limited to only school age attendees.
Yes.
Sorry, Wendell.
The competition is,
is limited. But anyone can participate. They can attend, and they can buy an admission ticket and be a spectator, and come in and observe and participate in the other activities. Hopefully, to get them interested in STEM education.
Yeah, so let's say you're a student and you're interested to learn more about robotics and technology, and meet companies where you can pursue a career in that, and you can come and watch the robot battles. It's just $20 for students to come and attend the event if you're not part of the competition. And there's over 100 teams that have registered so far. Each team consisting of 4 to 5 people. So multiply
It's
5 times 100.
200 teams.
200 teams.
And these are from all over the country.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
200 teams have registered. Each team consisting of 4 to 5 people. So multiply 5 times 200, and you're looking at just the robotics competition. Taking a little sneak peek at our floor map. All of this stuff over here are just all the work tables for the students. So half of the convention center, you got half, and half. Is all of their work tables and stuff. So that's another cool part. You'll be able to see the students working on their robots too. And when we did Galveston Esports Summit, like Mary Jo said, we did kind of like an introduction of robotics at the esports event. We gave people an opportunity to kind of touch and drive those robots there. Now they're going to be able to see them in action, part of the world championships and doing this competition. So that's super exciting too.
Wendell, it sounds like something that would be great for your granddaughter to come and watch.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
encourage that completely, because they can get up and close. They can talk to the students when they're not competing, and we have bleacher seating as well as on one side, and then spectator seating and chairs on the other side where the elementary students are. But we encourage people to bring their kids so that they can learn how they can get involved with their schools or in other organizations, because there are organizations that kids can be a part of for after-school activities that are robotics.
There's the robotic stuff going on. Is there other vendors there as well?
Yes. Yeah, we have vendors, including the cupcake people. That,
Amy's favorite.
Amy,
I think she's dealing with children. But
yeah.
And
Now, see-
we have schools that'll be talking about what they offer. We have hands-on activities, interactive games, virtual reality. We have a little bit of everything that people. And if you show your wristband that you have for entry to the robotics thing, you can take it over to Moody Gardens attractions and get a very deep discount on an all-day pass.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes, Amy, we said your name because they said that they're going to have the cupcake lady at the Galveston Robotics. And
Yeah.
they said that you would be very, very pleased.
She's on mute, but I know exactly what she said.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here thinking, it's like,
There's a little.
talk to these kids, and it's like, I can barely even share this podcast and do the stream at the same time. It would make me feel like a total idiot.
Yeah. Well, these
I'm
kids
not
are amazing.
science and math isn't my strong suit, so I would just sit there and applaud them and say, "Way to go, good job." I don't know what you're saying, kid, but you're cute, so keep doing what you're doing.
These kids that are doing the competition, they're also in band. They're also in football. They're also in track. There's a lot of band kids that are part of the robotics teams at these schools. So, they're not just doing robotics. Nowadays, they're doing everything. So, it's such a cool.
We've gone over to the
cool.
visual arts and media department, and they're providing our streamers and our photography and our videographers. And so we've incorporated all of the classes, that the vocational opportunities at GISD, invited them to come in, and they're going to be a big part of this event as well. So we're very happy about that.
Yeah, so it's an event for students, involving students and about students. It's going to be great with all these competitions going on at the same time.
Well, that's exciting because you're encouraging them, into looking into their future at a younger age, and giving them hope. Because especially, being a geek, I own it. I'm a geek. But growing up, that wasn't the cool thing to be, and so you're providing them an environment where it's cool to be a geek.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's great.
And they're going after 12 coveted spots to compete at world competition.
Nice.
At this event, which is phenomenal. So we're very excited about that.
Very cool.
And what are the dates of the event so people can definitely know? And I'll be sharing the
November
place for
12th
y'all.
and 13th, which is Friday and
November.
Saturday.
Next
And
month.
Next month, November. And if there are any companies that want to get involved, if not at this one, for the next one, but just to have a presence there, we encourage them to contact us. And any sponsorship is welcome because it all goes toward promoting the kids' activities. And anybody can come out. And Moody Gardens has a special hotel room rate, and it's an incredible facility.
And there's free parking as well, which is always important to know. Because if you're going to an event, even if our ticket prices are $20, anyone can come in for $20 for students, and adults are 30, right? So even if you're spending $5 going to an event, you don't want to spend $50 on parking. So parking is free. There's a huge parking garage conveniently located just across the sidewalk from the convention center. And like Mary Jo said, it's attached to Moody Gardens, which is a world-renowned place. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. They have all kinds of attractions. So with your Galveston Robotics wristband, as Mary Jo mentioned, you can get a discount on the Moody Gardens coolness and awesomeness over there, which now they've got the Rainforest Pyramid. They've got 3 pyramids over there. They've got the 3D IMAX, and all kinds of amazing things.
So what got you guys started in this? Because I know that you guys do the esports, and now you're doing the Galveston Robotics. What got you guys started into it?
Well, in our adventure of doing esports, we ended up connecting with these kids. Mary Jo started communicating with Ms. Pickavant, and one thing led to another. We realized, these students were having their competition in the gym at the school, and sometimes everything doesn't fit. There's a lot of stuff going on. So Mary Jo came up with the great idea of creating a whole event around their robotic stuff, because again, like I said, these kids they're a hidden gem, a hidden jewel, and winning all these tournaments and stuff, and nobody really hears about it. So we put our brains together, and Mary Jo is kind of spearheading this whole thing of creating this amazing event to connect these kids with companies and do not just the competition, but also do all this other fun stuff.
These students deserve the recognition. They deserve the same as the football team and everybody else, because they're doing amazing things. And the skills that they're honing, especially through COVID and being inside, are very marketable, for them as they get older. So we need to support their efforts, and that's how all this started.
Yeah,
well, I think it's great because, like I said, I grew up a geek, so I'm all for anything that promotes geekdom. So I love that you're doing this for kids, and it would be a boost to their confidence, and especially, they get to do something really cool and go to a battle war with bots. So I think it's great.
Well, I know Amy and I met her at esports, and I think we actually had an interview with her. I'm not sure if she talked a little bit about the Galveston Robotics event coming up or not, but I do know that it is on one of our esports interviews.
She did do an interview with Catherine Pickavant, who is Mary Jo. She's leading the robotics department in all of the school districts, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, so you did interview her. So that's a great interview for people to go back to if they want to learn more about specifics in robotics and all the awesome, amazing stuff that she does for the students. Oh my gosh, she has kids of her own, and she's a teacher. And she does the robotics, but not only that, but she does it for every district. She's like a super Power Ranger, When
does she breathe? When does she breathe?
Plus, she's been recognized as one of the top instructors in the entire district.
Very nice.
Yeah.
She has.
Like I said, I think it's great that you're encouraging, the youngers to jump into something that's very cool and something that's not very well, what's the word I want, normally publicized, but that's really cool. And if people could get, kind of look at it and see it and see these kids for the gems that they are, they're the ones that are going to be changing the world.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the ones that are going to be developing the new medical robots that'll be, fixing us when we get old,
Oh, the robots are going on right now.
Speaking of Power Rangers, Steve Andrino.
I'll be talking
No,
to
not a Power Ranger monster, but
I'll be talking to Steve here shortly after we get off this interview, and I'm excited to talk to him.
Oh, very nice. Well, I do know that we actually have a video, I believe, from y'all's website. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I didn't have it up.
Going back to what CJ was talking about, our highlights all about the students, right? So we put this video on our homepage, which is an interview that one of our local news agencies did not too long ago. But we wanted to put this on our homepage to, again, highlight the students, what they're doing, and what this is about. So absolutely play that.
And I'm going to switch our screen around a little to make sure it gets big there. Go for it, Amy.
Just start it.
I'm a senior in Mohawk. I'm part of the robotics program, and I'm here competing in the next world competition. The competition is played 2-on-2, 2 robots against 2 robots. We're kind of playing a game of tic-tac-toe, outscore our enemies, and win the match.
As a role for a robotics team, I'm a driver, builder, and programmer. It's really exciting to have the opportunity to play with the world's best teams.
My name is Catherine Pickadance. I am the robotics teacher for Galveston High School. To get to this point, they competed in several in-person competitions. They hosted one as well at the beginning of the year. They did approximately 5 in-person competitions. We decided to do individual teams this year due to COVID. Team 400B consists of 2 students. They currently ranked at number 1 in the state of Texas, 43rd, I believe, in the world, and they are here competing alongside different countries.
You really start from nothing. You start from just a couple of pieces of metal, and then you build a whole robot. It takes months and hours of work, and to see it all pay off with being able to drive feels really nice.
It's a very good opportunity for me, and I get to design things, we get to prepare.
Worlds this year is in an LRT format, which stands for Live Remote Tournaments. So in addition to the 5 in-person tournaments, we've also competed in multiple LRTs.
Our rankings are based off skill scores, which we have practiced for hours. One time I practiced 6 hours straight without even stopping. The only reason I stopped is because my motor's burnt out.
Our students work and dedicate tons and tons of time to their robots.
The practice honestly makes up for everything that you don't have.
I'm so proud of them. They're like a second family to me. We travel as a team. I see them every Saturday, every weekend. They're just extended family.
This is an amazing year, and I love to get to compete in the next world. It's just so exciting, and I'm just super pumped, super ready for it.
I'm extremely proud to represent one of the best schools in the area and the best robotics program in the state.
Very nice.
Awesome. Is it
43rd in the world? That's
Catherine
incredible.
Pickadance is a rock star, and are those not some dedicated students? I mean, you heard him. He kept going till his wheel, his mechanism started burning out. But the coolest part, let's be honest, the coolest part about that video is the robot doing wheelies. I don't know if you saw that.
Now, my thing was
Definitely.
the fact that, they're 43rd in the world. That's incredible.
Yep, and they're going to take home even higher ranked awards and accolades this year. It's going to be spectacular to watch.
If you notice, they were on a gym floor.
Hmm.
They borrowed the gym where we had to.
Well, it just looks fantastic with all the kids there, and you can tell it's like they're so enthused with the learning,
Yeah.
and
These
that
kids
means
there when they don't even have to be at school.
Well, it's a passion for them.
Yes.
Yep.
And also, Catherine Pickadance has 5 children of her own, and considers all of her students her children as well. And then,
Oh, she's breaking up.
uh-oh, she's breaking up.
It's like Pickadance, that cool teachers that buy you pizza. She's the cool. I'm sure everybody wants to be part of the robotics event. Club.
yeah,
Definitely. I mean,
Well,
and that was just one segment. It's like then they also build the battle bots, which actually do
Yes.
damage to other ones. So they
Now
got to get
that's
the
something I
tools
wanna
and
watch.
stuff like that.
Oh, did they bring that TV show? They brought that TV show back, and then did it go somewhere? And then, or is it going to come back? Is that still a thing? You know,
I don't know. I like that show.
I love
It
that
was-
show too. That was back when I was in. Let's not anyway.
There were some killer battle bots. So I can't imagine what some of these kids who have grown up watching battle bots are going to come up with.
Yeah, Grant. You know, the late and great Grant Imahara still has the battle robot he had built in his shop. That's over there with Fawn Davis and everything. But it'll be a huge thing if they bring it back, especially in today's world, where we're more all about technology and everyone's carrying more technology all the time. And
I'm already seeing some, like, I know they're not going to make them as big and tall, but just like with the weapons like the Mandalorian and Boba Fett, missiles shooting at each other instead of like the fire and chainsaws coming down. It's like these kids will probably have missiles shooting at them.
These kids are actually your front line in the military right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't realize it, but that's why the Army is so invested, with their assets, because they recognize the talent and who they need for the future. And this is who's taking us to space. One of the things that I found out just doing the esports summit is the rover that we had there, the Mars rover, is just a marvel. And I commented on the way that it turns and the wheels. And one of the guys there said, well, the technology from that came from a robotics competition. One of the kids figured out that wheel turn, and NASA's used that. So NASA's even using technology that comes out of these young minds, which is phenomenal.
Oh, definitely. And it's not just like you said. I mean, NASA and the astronauts, perfect. But I mean, this also gets them in line for special effects on movies and stuff like that if they want to pursue that type of career.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing about young minds is they're not hindered by what, they can't do.
Right.
They're just like, well, they're at the what if stage.
They're pioneers.
What if? Can I do this? Can I not? What will it look like? Let's try it and find out.
Scared.
Yeah.
And that's robotic surgery is gaining momentum daily.
Mhm.
And it's everywhere. It's just simply everywhere.
Yeah, it's not going away. So, these kids are in line for a great future.
Yeah.
And we've had
going in that direction.
a bunch of great sponsors join our event. Mary Jo, if you want to run down some companies like UTMB.
UTMB Health, University of Texas Medical Branch Health, Stewart Title, Harbor Offshore, because the marine industry is also using a tremendous amount of robotics. Moody banks are using technology. That's why we all have mobile apps and everything else, so they're all recognizing that. We have Hometown Bank coming on board. We have energy drinks, and which are healthy, no sugars, sugar-free health drinks. Water. We have Omron. We have Northrop Grumman that has come on board. We're just elated, with the support that we're getting.
Good.
Definitely.
I'm
I love
excited
it.
because, getting behind kids, I'm all for. Let's go.
That's what I was about to say. I love when people get behind STEM education and education factors because I believe one of the biggest driving points in life that we should all encourage to be pushed is STEM education factors, and technology. Because let's be honest, we're all headed towards a more technology everywhere every day. So we just watched that amazing video of these amazing dedicated students, and you're literally looking at our future generation, our future astronauts, our future engineers, our future coders, developers, and cybersecurity experts. And there's no other way to put it. They are talented. And this is going to be a super exciting event just to see all the different levels, high school and elementary and all these different competitions. It's going to be so cool to watch all these super smart kids with all these robots around. It's like the coolest.
And I'm actually thankful that you're taking them in the line of good and not bad, because they could use their talents for bad. but you're
Good.
sending
We're
them
not
in a
gonna talk-
direction.
We're not talking
that-
about Skynet and Terminator. Let's
No.
not.
but you're helping to guide them in a direction that's good, and they don't have to hide that skill. You know, they're
That's why
allowed
we
to
have to get
shine
to them
and be
first.
bright, and they
Yeah.
can be their own.
Yeah.
They're their own star, and I think
Right.
that's great.
And a cool thing is someone that was at Galveston Esports Summit will be joining us is Dirk, and he's the one that brought all the Star Wars robots. So the R2D2 unit will be joining us again. So
Very nice.
hopefully some of those elementary kids will be like, "Oh my gosh, it's R2D2," and then like get encouraged to actually build one of those, because that takes a lot of skill. Trust me, I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, even when you're 3D printing them.
As long as it doesn't come up and shock me, we're good. Now, that's another amazing thing is like when these things get damaged and possibly during the arena, they're going to go and actually just work on it at their little station. It could be a big station. So you can actually watch them repair it.
Yeah, so we have all this, pardon my scribbles, I have to move some stuff around, so this isn't the final map, but we have the seating and bleachers in the middle of the event, and then all of these are the elementary arenas, and then these are the high school arenas, and then they have some practice arenas over here. The stage is going to be back here, but all of these tables over here are their workstations where they're putting the things together. Each one of these squares is a table. And I actually have to add more tables because more teams have registered, which is great. So
I can understand that there's usually probably an adult with each team. How much impact does the adult have on the robots themselves?
that is
Or do they hands off?
The parents are mostly hands off, most of, especially for the high school and everything, right? But one of the things that's cool about this is that parents are going to come and encourage their, they're going to sit up in the seating in the bleachers and, embarrass their kids by screaming their name and saying, "Go number one," Amy, I know Amy is one of those. She's over here Amy is one of those moms. So I could see Amy having, go, come on,
I would have a sign, air horn. I would have a shirt. I mean, I'm telling you.
And
so, if I was a parent, I definitely would be there encouraging my kids. So we hope to see a bunch of parents, because let's be honest, if you're into something like robots, like these kids are, the parents are going to know about it. They're having their kids go to school after hours and drop them off. They're going to competitions, so the parents are aware. So we're excited to see a bunch of parents out there encouraging their students.
But like the
Steve
sponsors
would
are
like to
hands
know.
off. It's only kids. Kids are the only ones allowed to touch the robots. That's kind of where I was going with that. Is, the adult that's with the teams, are they hands off? Is it the kids only allowed to touch the robot, or can the adults touch them?
This is a serious competition. So you cannot allow anybody to go in and touch a robot because this kid's competing for world.
So it's just the kids that are allowed to touch the robots.
They're in
Okay.
the arena. Well, it's set up like an arena, like it's a boxing match. You wouldn't get them in the arena with a boxer, so you don't get in the arena with the robots.
Watch me.
That's why the spectator seats are separate from where they are. And there's a lot of tension, because they've worked a long time to get there, and they're refining everything as they go.
Now, Steve would like to know. Steve would like to know is how many. I mean, we do know Galveston, and y'all probably have a bunch of teams from ISD, but how many teams are coming from out of state or out of country? Or
there's only 4 teams out of the 200 that are from GISD. So you have the majority of the students are from other places. They can be the region, they can be the state, and they can be out of the country. I do know teams from California have registered, but other than that, they don't give us the list of the registrants that goes through VEX. So we're not privileged to those zip codes, but we do know how many we have here.
Yeah, and this is not just an event that we're doing, right? We're saying, hey, we can do these competitions. This is actually a signature event. We were able to reach out to those companies and work on getting that status of being a signature event. So that's a big deal on its own.
Definitely. Do you know if there's any out of country, or is it just going to be national?
We don't know. We don't.
Okay.
know.
Because that would be interesting.
I would imagine that to attend from out of the country would be a little difficult right now with the COVID restrictions with border crossings. So
Yeah.
I would doubt that. I would say that the majority are coming from within the United States.
Yeah, when the student registration closes is actually whenever we'll know where everybody's coming from, and there's only a couple of spots left. Ms. Pickavance told me today there's only a couple of spots left, so registration will be closing very soon for the students.
Yeah.
So possibly when the COVID is over, you would think that possibly it would open up to out of country, or possibly, or
Well, what happens is that would be a vexed question, because we're not privileged to that information. You know,
Whenever all of these competitions are, like local and districts, when they get into the world championships, that's when you're talking about having different teams from different places, right? So it's just like any kind of competition. You do the local stuff, and then all of these teams are coming from the U.S. different places, and then get to the world, and that's when you have a bigger mix of teams from different places. So
very nice. It sounds very intriguing, and I would suggest people definitely go. If you want to learn something, this would be definitely the place to learn. I know I sat there and watched them. They were across from me at esports, so I sat there and watched them, and I was actually fascinated with some of the stuff that they were doing and how quick they were doing it.
Yeah. And by the way, if you know anybody that has a contact with Snap-on Tools, we would love to connect with them, because these kids are using all kinds of tools. We'd like to have them on site.
Which kind of tools? Because I can barely hear that here.
Snap-on, SNAP.
Okay, Snap-on.
You know, it's a franchise, but their business is their truck, and they go from place to place and provide tools. And we would love to have them have presence at this. These kids are all using these tools, and
and we still have some vendors. We still have some vendor spots available.
We want them to have a presence there, either as a sponsor or have the truck there or whatever.
No, I'm just saying, if anybody else wants to be a vendor, or if you, if you're a vendor for a Comic-Con, this would be a great place to be a vendor too, because there's going to be kids and families and parents running around everywhere. Anything from pop figures to comics to toys and all that kind of stuff would totally fit in. So if you're, oh my gosh! Well, we have a cupcake lady, and Mary. We have this thing where we don't want to have two of the same people, because then they start staring at each other from the center. This lady staring at this lady from the other side. They're giving dirty eyes all day. Anyway,
I'm sure Amy would buy them all.
I do that with the cupcake lady, and I don't make cupcakes, but I stare a hole at her until I know what is coming, and then I go buy one or two of each. And then she's got to treat me with the cakes. And it's just like, why you got to do that to me? Just take my money. Okay, let me tell you, Johnny. Okay, let me.
Hey, I saw you there every morning waiting when
hey, don't put me on blast like that.
Hey, she was taking inventory. She was taking inventory.
No, my card went on file on day one. Okay,
I ran a tab for the weekend.
I could totally just keep bringing my card over here, but then I'm gonna feel bad about how much I'm spending. So if you have it on file, just don't tell me.
Did any of you buy any of those tall cakes that she made?
No, you bought the one I was gonna get.
I'm sorry, I bought 4. I bought 3 of those different cakes.
He bought the one that I was going to get too.
I know.
Oh no, he bought
You were on my list, Johnny.
I'm sorry.
You were on my list. Okay, I was like, oh damn, that Johnny took my cake.
Public enemy number 1.
I have to say it wouldn't have made it home, because I was driving from South or Galveston all the way to North Houston, so it wouldn't have made it home.
What happens on the car ride to and from stays on the car ride to and from, okay? We don't have to be like, oh, you ate a whole cake by yourself. I could have done it in the hotel room the night I bought it, okay? Let's be honest.
Calories
don't family. We don't have to lie, okay?
Calories don't count on event weekends, so, just go for it.
I don't count them anyways because I don't. Then I'm just gonna feel bad about myself. So I just am like, oh, that's a positive number. Okay, I can't. No.
I have to say those cupcakes were good.
Yeah, they were good.
And
Really good.
and if y'all are going down there, Wendell, if you go down there with your granddaughter, get her one, get you one, get your wife one. Just go ahead and just get them.
They will deliver or ship them. I did convince them to ship to me, or they said they'd meet me halfway. I would make the drive halfway. Yes, for cupcakes.
You need to just take stock in their store and
I have one of their cards here somewhere, but it's Incredible Cakes Bakery.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
incredible cakes.
Yeah, and she's amazing. So, for more information or to see our map or learn more about our vendors or for the ticket link or our event flyer that lets you know a little bit about what's going on other than the robot competitions, because not everybody may want to come see the competition. They may just want to come see the winners, play some games, experience virtual reality. So all that information is on our website at galvestonrobotics.com. And we'll be dropping, Mary Jo will be releasing some press releases and updated information and all that kind of cool stuff. But going to Galveston Robotics is a great way to stay updated on what's happening.
Now I think you pretty much just answered it. I was going to say for vendors and sponsors, they can go to your website to apply for that as well.
Absolutely. If you go to our website and just hover your mouse over the word Get Involved and our menu at the top of our website, and it says exhibitors and vendors, click on that, and all the information that you need is there. Our exhibitor form, load-in times, information, and a sign-up sheet as well. All on our website, galvestonrobotics.com.
And one of our wonderful sponsors is Sand and Sea Properties, and they have beach homes, and they have
all kinds of awesome
throughout
vacation
the city. Yeah, and they'll help you out too if you don't want to stay in a hotel. But Moody Gardens is our hotel.
Should I just hand y'all my wallet now?
We'll take it.
Yeah, I love it. She didn't hesitate yet.
Yeah.
You don't want it. You don't want it.
Take your money. I
It's
love
chipping
it.
away
You
at
know.
the pennies right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But
Awesome.
I have to say, it's been wonderful having y'all on, and we love the esports. I'm sure Galveston Robotics will be just as good, especially like you said at Moody Gardens, because that place is beautiful itself.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot to do.
And wait till you see what we have in store for you for Galveston Esports for next year. It's going to be quite a spectacular event. So, and for that one, it's galvestonesports.com. And we look forward to inviting the robotics students back to that one as well. We want to do everything we can to get these kids, in front of companies that they can connect with, to have future jobs. So
You piqued my interest here.
I haven't even told anyone yet, but we've got some cool things for the Galveston Robotics event that we'll be posting on our social media, and everything
and we
is
have very cool shirts.
Oh yes, we're gonna do some really cool.
Galveston Robotics, they're really great.
Now y'all had to throw me under the bus because I still have Amy's shirt.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you can go ahead and throw him under the bus because he also misspelled my name in the chat. And let me say,
Yeah.
it's on the screen. Okay, so you can give him as much under the bus as you want to right now because he's not my favorite person.
You're
Now
in
I'm gonna have to go
trouble.
buy some cupcakes and have them shipped.
Yep. I'm
That
thinking-
will definitely get you back in my good graces. Yes.
Well, it wasn't on the main screen, thank goodness.
Nah, but we saw it.
Y'all did. They didn't. But have to say, it's definitely been enjoyable having you on our show. We love having y'all. Y'all do tremendous job down there in Galveston with all the events that y'all do. I do know Saturday we're going back to our Spooktober. We have a paranormal and suspense thriller author coming to us.
Awesome.
She's going to be on 11 a.m. this Saturday. And if I recall, I think we're getting her from Italy. So she will be in Italy when she comes on.
That's
Nice.
great.
And she is a great person. I can't wait to speak with her and talk about her books. But anyway, everybody, I know it's late. It's Thursday. I know y'all want to get time with some family and before y'all have to go to work on Friday. But it is Friday tomorrow, TGIF.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for doing what you're doing for the younglings in robotics and everything.
And thank you for what you're doing.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
thank you
you
for giving us the time to talk about this and the platform that you guys have created at the Con Hour. It's something very special, and I love what you guys do. So keep up the great work, and we will keep up the share.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we will see y'all later. And
Yes.
hopefully, I'm not sure. I'm not going to promise anything, but hopefully we can make it to Galveston Robotics.
That would be great.
You're more than welcome to come.
All right.
We'll all stalk the Cupcake Lady together.
Episode 7.
Amy's going to own that when it comes to the Cupcake Lady. So
Yes. And everyone, adios. Y'all